music, the term intervals refers to the distance or span between two notes. There are two types of intervals, melodic intervals and harmonic intervals. We use numbers like unison, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and octave to indicate the span between two notes. Let's recap the concept of intervals and explore their qualities. The interval between F to G is a second. But what about F to G sharp? They are also second intervals, but they sound different. This leads us to the concept of interval quality. There are 5 types of interval qualities: perfect, major, minor, diminished, and augmented. Let's start with the perfect interval quality. The perfect interval only applies when the notes are in unison, fourth, fifth, or an octave apart. These 4 intervals are labeled as perfect because their sound quality is distinct from other intervals. They have a very stable and harmonically pleasing sound, and they sound resolved. To identify a perfect interval, both notes must be found in the same major scale. For example, F sharp and B are a fourth apart, and both notes belong to the D major scale. Therefore, they form a perfect fourth. There are several methods to identify interval quality. The first method I will explain is called the lower note as major key method. Step number 1. Define the interval. Count the number of notes between the bottom and top notes. In this case, F and B flat are 4 notes apart. Step number 2. Define the interval quality. Apply the bottom note as major key method. Treat the bottom note F as the major key. In this case, it is F major. Since the top note B flat is found in the F major scale, this is a perfect interval. Another method is called the half steps method, which identifies interval quality by the number of half steps involved. For example, a perfect unison consists of 0 half steps. A perfect fourth consists of 5 half steps. A perfect fifth consists of 7 half steps. And a perfect octave consists of 12 half steps. To build a perfect fifth interval, consider G as the bottom note. Step number 1. Count 5 steps above the bottom note. G to D is a fifth interval. Step number 2. Define the interval quality. We need a perfect fifth interval, which in the half step method consists of 7 half steps. Counting from G to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We find that G to D is a perfect fifth, requiring no accidentals. Alternatively, you can also use the lower note as major key method. Treat the bottom note G as G major. The key signature of G major includes F sharp. And since D belongs to the G major scale, the interval between G and D is a perfect fifth. After understanding how perfect interval works theoretically, let's listen to some familiar tunes and discover where perfect intervals can be heard. You'll be amazed at how many songs use them. Here's a list of popular songs that start with a perfect unison, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, and perfect octave.